We had an incredible comeback yet again from the Denver Nuggets. Down 3-1 to the Utah Jazz. Looked dead on the water in the first round. They win 3 straight, upset the Jazz. Now, I can't lie. Like many people, I found myself saying, nice comeback for Denver. Very impressive, very commendable. But all that energy that they used, you're playing every other night. Jamal Murray, after Game 7, was almost looked pained. That Game 1 against the Clippers was just 2 nights later. He thought they had an extra day off. They did not. And I thought, at least personally, whether it was exhaustion, whether just out-talented, Clippers would roll. I thought they rolled kind of easy, to be honest. And what happened? Clippers get up 3-1. Okay, looks like they're winning 5. Lose Game 5. Have a big lead in Game 6. All right, there they go. They woke up. Blow that lead in Game 6. Get themselves in a dogfight in Game 7. And before you know, you look up in the fourth quarter. Nuggets are up by 20. 20. And they do it again. First time in NBA history that a team has come back from consecutive 3-1 deficits to win. And the Nuggets now riding that wave into the Western Conference Finals to take on the Lakers. So here's the question. We didn't give much of a... I should say, that's not true. We thought they would beat the Jazz. Or it was a close series. Very even series. Didn't give much of a chance against the Clippers. They upset the Clippers. Not a lot of people are giving the Nuggets a chance against the Lakers. Can they keep it going? Can they upset the Lakers? I'm doing it. I'm getting on board. I'm jumping on board the Denver bandwagon. I think the Nuggets can win this series in 7. They have a legitimate and real shot to pull off an upset. Hey, just look at the NBA landscape already. Clippers, second best team in the West, eliminated. Bucks, number 1 team in the East, eliminated. Raptors, number 2 team in the East, eliminated. 3 of the 4 top seeds in the NBA playoffs have already been eliminated before we've even reached the conference finals. Think about that. So why not make it 4-4? Let's get nuts. Let's get crazy. The bubble has shown so far anything can happen. So I'm jumping on the wave. I'm getting on the bandwagon. I'm getting on it that the Nuggets are going to pull the upset and they are going to beat the Lakers for a few reasons. Number 1, this is cute. This is huge. Excuse me. I said cute and actually combined key and huge. I don't even know how that's possible, but this is huge. And here's what it is. They aren't intimidated by anyone. I know it sounds simple. I know, you can always hear some coach speak or player speak. Yeah, we're not really too worried about them. We're confident we can win. But the Nuggets are actually playing it. They're not talking about it. They're actually showing on the court that they aren't intimidated by anybody, and they're playing confident. I mean, sure, maybe it takes them to get down 3-1 in a series to wake up against the Jazz, to wake up against the Clippers and play confident, but it's still better late than never. Think about it for the Clippers. The way the Clippers are constructed, right? They have a great, phenomenal player in Kawhi Leonard. I'm not taking anything away from him this series. I know there's a lot of Kawhi slander on Twitter. Shocker. Paul George, say what you will. But the Clippers have 2 great players on their team and, to me, a deep bench. And what do, though? Their style of play is honestly just try to bully you. They don't kill you with a 3. They don't beat you down low, right? Their style of play is physical, and they try to just impose their will on you and just bully the hell out of their opponent, get in their head, intimidate them, and that's how they win. Marcus Morris running his mouth, getting in players' faces, right? We saw him in Luka Doncic's grill almost the entire series and opening round against the Mavericks. Running his mouth, talking smack, and the Clippers really try to bully their opponents. And guess what happened? The Nuggets didn't get intimidated. They saw that talk, and you know what they did? They punched the bully back. And guess what happens when you punch the bully back more times than not? The bully doesn't punch back. They get scared. They go away. The Clippers punched back, and they won. So playing confident, not getting intimidated is huge when you're going against LeBron James. When you're going against Anthony Davis, 2 of the top 5, 7 players in the league. So that's huge. The confidence is there. Not to mention, in the playoffs, this is not a given. You would think it's a given. It's not a given. Their star players are playing really well. Their star players are showing up when they need them most. Jamal Murray, Game 7 against the Clippers, 40 points. Shot 15 of 26. Super efficient, super deadly, scored in bunches. Nikola Jokic, Game 7, 16 points, 22 rebounds, 13 assists. He had a triple-double in the third quarter. feeding the rock all over the place, grabbing rebounds, not allowing second chances for the Clippers. And look at the overall bubble since the playoffs started. Jamal Murray is the leading scorer in the NBA. Nikola Jokic tied for third. Their two best players have showed up consistently time in and time out. Ask Houston what that's like. Ask Philly what that's like. Ask Toronto. Ask Milwaukee. Chris Middleton could never get in a groove. Giannis struggled at times. Pascal Siakam really never got out of this malaise that he got in once he entered the bubble. Having your best players step up when they needed to be needed the most. That was easy for me to say. Holy cow, I don't know if that made sense. Needing your star players to step up in big moments is not as easy as it sounds. LeBron James has made it seem easy. Kawhi Leonard last year put the Raptors on his back. And so far, Murray and Jokic are doing that for Denver. So I don't see why it stops anytime soon. Not to mention, I'm just going to keep harping on this point. I said it in the first series against Portland. I said it in the second series against Houston. I'm going to say it now, and I'll probably say it again if the Lakers win. And who knows? It may never come to fruition. I may be proven wrong. But I'm concerned about the Lakers' depth. I really am. LeBron has played incredible. Anthony Davis, when he's on, no one's better. A little inconsistent for my liking, but when he has a really good game, no one's stopping him. His shots from all over the floor are draining. No one's getting a hand in his face. And if you do, he's still knocking down the shot. Those two have been incredible. I'm not concerned about them. What I am concerned about, though, is that if one of them struggles, if LeBron's not hitting his shots, if Anthony Davis gets cold, which we've seen in the playoffs, is there someone on the Lakers that can consistently step up? I am not confident in saying that. The answer is yes. So I'm skeptical that the LeBron and AD by themselves can lead the Lakers past the Nuggets. They're able to do so in Series 1. Portland had some injuries. They seemed out of gas. Houston did it to themselves because James Harden doesn't want to shoot down the stretch. Instead, you have Russell Westbrook shooting. So you'll win that series 10 times out of 10. Russell Westbrook is a guy taking 5 shots in the last 2 minutes of a game, all jump shots. So, yeah, I'm concerned that Danny Green could be relied upon in a big moment. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, J.R. Smith, Markieff Morris. I'm legitimately concerned that if you need to rely on those guys, you're in trouble. So I am worried about the Lakers' depth. Can they come through in a big spot? I don't know. Nothing really, gives me confidence saying yes. Not to mention, too, we've seen this in the bubble. Denver's attitude, playing loose, playing pressure-free, enjoying the underdog role, is real. It leads to real results. The Bucks, once they got down to Miami quickly, looked like they catered under pressure. They caved under pressure. The Clippers, say what you will, just didn't show up. But there's something, the Nuggets like the Heat. When you're playing loose, when you're enjoying the underdog role, when you like actually being in the bubble, want to stay longer, they don't seem dragged down by this whole situation. They seem energized. Their legs don't get as tired. I mean, to be honest, part of the reason why, I look at this Clippers series and what happened with all the talent that they have, they just seem to never wake up. Not even sure, maybe they were over the bubble. Maybe it was hitting them harder than other teams. But the Nuggets are one of those teams that enjoy being there, that don't want to leave. Jimmy Butler on the Heat may never leave the bubble, even when it's all over. He seems to love it so much, and that Heat team feeds off that. Well, the Nuggets do the same thing. Jamal Murray doesn't want to leave. Nikola Jokic doesn't want to leave. No one on the Nuggets wants to leave. Now, as simple as that sounds, maybe, or as maybe even dumb as that sounds, if you want to go there, I do think that legitimately has an impact on the court. When you want to be there, when you continue to fight, because again, the Nuggets are down, I believe it was 17 or 15 points late in the third quarter in Game 5. You're down 3-1 to the Clippers. You're down by 15 points with like 2 minutes left in the third quarter. You can pack it up. You can put 1 foot on the plane. You could start thinking about seeing your family again or going back to your house and sleeping in your own bed. But they kept fighting. They didn't want to leave. They didn't give up. And then, 5 minutes later, they're up by 15 against the Clippers, and they never looked back. That fight that we didn't see from Houston when they were down to the Lakers, that we didn't really see too much from the Bucks, so we didn't see from other teams, that fight's real. And I'm buying into it. I am buying into it. So that's why I'm taking the Nuggets. I think it goes 7. I think they really push the Lakers. And to me, I'm rolling with Denver. Call me a front runner. Call me a bandwagoner. That's okay. Because I'm assessing my picks. I'm assessing my thoughts based on what I see. The Lakers have more talent than the Nuggets. The Clippers had more talent than the Nuggets. But sometimes, as we see in sports, the hot team wins. The hot hand wins. It's unexplainable. When you're feeling that confident, when things are going your way, doesn't matter sometimes how good the other team is. Doesn't matter what they've accomplished or who's on the other side. You just get it done. So I'm rolling with Denver. Call me a Lakers hater if you want. I am rolling with the Denver Nuggets to pull off the upset and get to the finals out of the Western Conference.